All right, so it's the story that every shop owner hates or dreads or doesn't ever want to experience, and this was one for us. Obviously, Doublemint had a little bit of a problem. So the hardline bulkheads from the chassis, it goes to the transmission. It has another bulkhead there, and then it runs up the spine of the transmission, and that's a single soft line, and then that single soft line splits and goes to a Y, and then it splits and goes to the back of the rails. From what we can tell, the passenger side fuel line either had a mechanical failure or the fuel line burst, and there's really no way we can know which way it went. Just looking at the fittings, there's residual rubber down in the fittings, so you can tell that the mechanical lock was there and the hose was definitely seated all the way. But beyond that, because of the fire damage, we can't really tell exactly what happened. I was not driving it, it was Rick driving it. Rick wasn't hurt, that's the best part. He got out just fine. Called the fire department, they got it put out pretty quick. Interior's gone, some paint damage. It will come back, so we're going to pull the cab off, we're going to pull the fenders off. Everything below the valve cover seems to be fine. This happened 2 weeks ago. This is pretty fresh for us. First one I've ever had, and hopefully the last one I'll ever have. I'm not super excited about it, wearing the sunglasses to hide the tears. It's a bummer. It can happen to anybody. We learn from it and move on. When we take it apart, we may know a little bit more about, like, if the line gave up right now, we can't see anything down there, but there was no heat around the fuel lines. There was no chafing. Everything was secured and tidy as, you know, where it's supposed to go and out of harm's way. So I don't know. Well, we may never know. I just know that I hope this never happens to anybody. And unfortunately, it was our turn. So carbon fiber tubs, they're gonna get replaced. Blower's gotta get serviced. Motor's fine, transmission's fine. Whole interior redo, so Doublemint 3.0 coming at you soon. So we're not gonna waste any time. As soon as today, we might be tearing this thing apart, and I want it back together and done as fast as we can. I've already got a bunch of parts on the floor for it. I ordered the same day because you know, this is our baby. It's Rick's truck, but it's our baby. So it's super sad, and well, onward and upward.
It was gut-wrenching when I got the phone call. It was right before lunchtime on a Thursday. It's gut-wrenching is about all that I can come up with. All the years that went into that truck, and it was not pleasant.
It was a sad day. It was quite unfortunate that happened, really. You know, because a lot of us put a lot of time, many hours of labor, hard work into that truck, and to see it just burn to a crisp. But luckily, it looks worse than what it actually is. The cab will have to be repainted. The front end will have to be repainted. Some of the engine stuff will have to be torn apart, repainted and powder coated. Supercharger will have to be rebuilt. The truck can easily be rebuilt again, and at the end of the day, we can bring it back better than ever.
Hi, my name is Naomi. I work over here at Big Ten Garage in this front office area with Nancy and Jason. What I do here is I do receipts and I help with the inventory aspect side with Nancy. I'm kind of under her wing right now in learning how to do invoices and send out payroll. Overall, just taking care of all the online baking. But I just wanted to say hi to everyone here, and then back to the garage with all the guys.
So back on Andrew's truck, or still on Andrew's truck. I've got a harness here that runs down underneath the truck, underneath the cab. Now we're coming along here. I've got a section of wires that goes to my level sensor for the AccuAir system. And I've got another group of wires here that goes to an actuator to lift the center of the bed floor up. That'll ultimately go here. Now we're just running these wires down and hitting them up on the frame here so we can keep them up out of the way, keep it tidy and keep it nice.
How long have you been on the floor today?
All day. All day today.
Good.
Yeah. I just hang out under here now. So, yeah.
Nice little home.
It's a good time.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, now we got the 6.0 engine and 4L80 back in the 55 Cameo. Still waiting on some fresh valve covers. We got the Wagner front drive accessory drive kit partially installed, waiting on a couple parts, but starting to look like a pretty new engine ready for a Magnuson supercharger on top.
Today we're working on Scott's 07 Classic Sierra. We're stripping off all the wax coating off of the frame to be able to repaint it with satin black, just so the outside of the frame was already done. Might as well do the inside while the motor's out.
So then why are you even removing the paint in the first place?
Just GM uses a wax coating from the factory. Dirt loves sticking to it, and it's just messy.
All right, so one of the things I'm working on today is for Mr. Gabe's Nova over there. Unfortunately, this shifter didn't come with provisions for a reverse lamp, so we're just adding one. I'm still using a low car switch. We're gonna grab the little button head guy off here because that's a singular location point that's only gonna exist in park. It's not gonna get raked by 3 or 4 different things as it goes through its rotation. But it's also a tap to shift, so that's gonna be a fun little thing for him in his 6-speed. But basically, I'm just gonna make a little brake, or a little stand that comes off of here, catches a few points. We're gonna grab that screw, normally just a stopper for the gate on the inside, but we're gonna extend it and then have a little stand coming off, do a little clearancing around this switch that we're not really using, but then basically get the switch to slant right there for our reverse lights. And this will keep it low enough so it still fits under the boot. Wiring's already ran into the center console area, so just gotta make a couple additions before we put it together, and then we get the reverse lights working. Other than that, Gabe's is pretty much done. There's just a couple little things like the reverse lights, and I don't think there's much else before it needs to go to dyno tune on Wednesday. So, last couple little odds and ends. The interior's all done, the headliner's done. Yeah. Ready to give it back to him. All right, so we're building this LSX for Mr. Patterson's 66 Chevelle. It's gonna get the 6-speed to go behind it, but I'm also putting a supercharger together. It's a Magnuson 2300. He requested that it not be black powder coat. He wanted that raw aluminum steel. So we actually had a friend, Mr. Kevin Bowman at Southwest Airlines, do a little vapor hunting, they call it. It's like sandblasting, but it's also done with water behind it as well, so it doesn't eat up the material too bad. And then we put a little Cerakote finish on there, and it looks really great. It's gonna look very, very period correct, but definitely not period correct. We've got a big deadline on it. It's, I think, 2nd week of August, if I remember correctly, but yeah, time is ticking, and you know, we're trying to have this ready for him in time, and we ended up doing we're stacking on a lot more work than what we originally were going to do, but we're going to see what we can do. Yeah, it's going to be a really fun build when we're all done. He's going to take it on one of the power tours. It's going to be gone for, I think he said 10 days. So that's definitely going to be a test, but we trust our work. We do good stuff. All right, so this is Mr. Patterson's frame. We were just looking at his engine. We'll go take a look at the body that Bernie's working on right now. He's fixing the firewall, flattening that out. You can see here, if you know Chevelle frames, these are normally open. These have been boxed in after we did all of our measurement and fitting. We actually put the engine and transmission already in here to mock everything up, make sure everything fits right. Had everything braced with support braces before we cut anything apart and welded anything, and then cut them off when we're done. Already got section back here too, except I think we're going 315s in the rear. So normally you'd be into the body. So you have to relocate this body mount right here, do a whole lot of chippy chopping up here, and then we welded in the coil over upper support. And then these braces got added in because this corner got weakened because we got it all cut up, but so we got this for a little more structure back into it. And then, yeah, we can go take a look at the body and see all the work that's been done to that.
All right, if you come over here, you can see where we've already got the new wheel wells installed in the body.
I think Olin cut those out for us and welded them in. You can see right up in there. So those will fit those big tires that we're looking to squeeze in there. And you can see how far we had to come in on the trunk side in here. This all got cut up, and while we were in there, we did some rust repair. Yeah. Then you have to make little sections and shorten up your trunk support braces on both sides. So those have to come way in as well. And then if we come around to the front, we'll see all the firewall work that Bernie's been doing.
All right, so we made this buck, having to do some adjustments on it, but the buck does this, makes like a little bead roll type stamp. So as you guys can see, it has a little bit of wave. So we're gonna use a different die on it to get a better smooth surface, but essentially this is gonna go right here, right there, and it'll finish up the firewall. We went ahead and silicone bronze all this seam, and then did some patch panels right here. Was previously cut all bad and everything. We had some holes right here that covered up. We had a big hole right here as well. We got that covered up, and that's about it. Try to strain the firewall as much as possible before body work, so we use less body filler on it. And yeah, so the buck is basically this. This goes in the center, and then you flip it. Obviously it's all going to be bolted down, and you hit it with your air hammer with the die to get that shape. It's basically just to add more structural to it. As you can see, we would try to do what it already had on here, kind of period correct for the car. Yeah.
All right, so we're back here with Dale's 67 Mustang. Last time you guys saw, I was working on finishing up all the hard lines for fuel, brakes, clutch, all of that. And then currently I'm working on the AC system. I'm doing hard lines for the AC. A few of the other things I've done here is I've torn apart the front end. I had the spot weld in this front cross member between the two frame rails, unibody frame rails. Put the radiator and condenser back in, and currently on the two hard lines, the number 6 and number 8 hard line, to be able to easily access them, be more serviceable. Thank y'all for watching. Stay tuned. Next month we'll be releasing another video, and catch you guys in the next one.